What's going on, YouTube? We are live. Can I get a nickel snap? Oh, my.
Nickel snap. Oh.
Oh, we are live. Oh, my. What's up, Doc? How you doing, buddy? We got a picture of the rhino. I love that picture you put up, dude. I've been on a dime kick, man. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Like real bad. And I used to make fun of you. I mean, I still do. What's up, J-Lo? Oh, my! Nothing in this video is financial advice except for maybe Nickel because he knows all. I used to give you hell over the 10,000 dimes. We just looked it up. It's, what was it, 714 ounces or something?
Yeah.
And it came out to about just under 29 grand now.
Now,
I don't think that's, I don't think.
But the price in inflation or stagflation, it's going to go way up.
I agree. I don't think 10,000 dimes is enough if that's all you have. When you say 10,000 dimes, do you think that's, what's up, Robert? Do you think that's enough to have that and nothing else, or is that just your baseline?
I think at a minimum, I think that you would be in not too bad a shape if you had it. Because let's say silver gets to $75 an ounce. Let's just say they did. Now, how much do you have?
A lot more.
Yeah.
What's up, Scorpion? How you doing, buddy? I'm beginning to think silver isn't the best investment because I'll never let it get over 50. Well, I understand, Doc. I just did a video a couple hours ago, though. And don't get me wrong, Nickel and I differ. I think gold is the way to go. But that's if you got thousands of ounces of silver as a base, in my opinion. And I looked at, because I work with a lot of kids, and I did a video about an hour ago that YouTube ain't going to tell you about because that's YouTube. But most of them were born in like 2003, 2004. So I picked 2003. Dude, silver was like $6. That was 22 years ago. That ain't that long for us old guys. And now it's what, 33? So I think silver definitely has some potential. And it is my favorite metal. What is your favorite metal, Nickel? I mean, you talk about a lot of metals, but I would guess it's silver. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think I would still stay with silver. I like nickel a lot, but I would probably stick with silver as my favorite. Well, you got the 10,000 dimes and whatever gold you have on. You're going to have gold jewelry. That'd be your gold. And you probably got some type of job. I mean, you may not be making much at that sometime in the near future if things got real bad. But you may not be completely jobless.
I stack cats. That's my job. It's not paying too well, though. All right. I ain't going to poke fun. If you know, you know. Go ahead.
So if you combine all three of those, yeah, I think 10,000 dimes is good.
So you're saying that's enough to get you through retirement, any bills that might come up? You think 10,000 dimes, if that's all you have, is enough to get you through?
Well, you got gold. People's got gold jewelry, so they're going to have that if they have to use that. They've got, and they're going to have some type of job. You got to assume. Okay, so they're going to be bringing income from that. No, I think you should have investments. I'm just saying that in a hyperinflation scenario, probably at the rate that they'll go up, you probably are in pretty decent shape. You only have to use one dime a day.
Well, what's going on, Beto? You see what Beto said in the chat? I know you don't know how to read chat because you never have it on, but you see what Beto said? Historically, what was it that nut Chris Duenos used to say? Historically, the average wage was about a dime a day or something. Didn't he say something like that? Remember that?
Canadian prepper. Alaska prepper. He figured it up. He figured, in a scenario like that, you'd probably use 2 dimes a day. He said 2 dimes a day. I think that's what he said. And he figures it too. At the rate it goes up compared to everything else, you probably slightly stay ahead of things. And so, but if we have hyperinflation, I don't think we'll ever come out of it because there's nobody big enough to bail us out.
That's interesting. Doc, I agree with you about real estate, but I also agree with Scorpion. I did a live, I think it was my last live, a couple days ago. Dude, the FHA loans, they're coming due, man. Yeah, I'm vaping. My house ain't on fire. It's damn scary. There's over 1 million in delinquency, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I am short in the housing market. I'm doing the big short, man. I'm banking on. I don't want it, but I'm banking on people not being able to pay their auto and their home loans, man. Especially
credit cards. Credit cards, I think, are over $1 trillion now.
Oh yeah, highest credit card debt all time, and then you got student loans coming due. So on the 5th of next month, which is 5 days away, depending on where you are, 6 days away tops. That's when they're going to start collecting on the student loans that are in forbearance, and starting on the 1st. Is it the 1st? I think it's the 1st. The FHA loan relief packages end on April 30th for the CV19. What's up, Rhonda? So I'm kind of positioning myself to Michael Berry this thing as much as I can, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to get in and get enough in there to make a difference, but I'm going to try. Oh, my. Nick owns 5 houses, so he's in good shape.
No, I'll just be owning one sometime in the near future, and I rent a place, so I'll probably try to get rid of the place I rent once I own the home. I don't know. I got so much stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I need to have yard sales, and I'm hoping another flea market will come in around here. We don't have any in here anymore. It's another town.
You should make that a thing. You should bring it back. So you're doing a banking video coming up, I think, in the next couple of days. Am I correct?
Oh, I'm going to do any banks that failed, but there hasn't none failed this month, so it's not going to be I'm going to combine it with an Ask Me Anything because
look what Beto said. He said something happened with Citibank Nationwide. I don't know anything about that, so you might look into that before you do your video.
Well, no, I think that is. I think that they. I don't think you could get any money out. They had a glitch or something.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
You're not going to have any banks close. I mean, they'll fail, but then they'll rewrite. They'll restructure and come right in and reopen it. You're not going to see. You will see bank locations leave, and you may see banks combined, but you're not going to see banks actually fail. You just ain't going to see that.
No, I agree with you. I think you'll see banks fail, but the depositors will be reimbursed. And I think a lot of these channels are like, oh, the banks are failing, man, it's over. I think that's the narrative they push, and the government ain't gonna not print the money to pay people back if the FDIC can't cover it, because that would just be mayhem and insanity, in my opinion.
Well, what I think you're going to see is one bank take over another bank, and you'll have fewer banks, and then you're going to have locations closed because you don't want, if one bank has the other bank, you don't want 3 locations within walking distance. You're going to close those. People get that confused. Oh, bank closed. I go, you mean the location closed? It's a big difference. It's not the bank closed, the location closed. and
that's true, because B of A was shutting down a lot of branch locations, but their stock is thriving. And JP Morgan Chase, who I probably hate more than any other bank, the one right down the street from my house closed. God, I don't know, 6 months ago, and they got a ton of dough. What's up, OC? So you're correct. The banks say, okay, this branch ain't making no money, we're going to shut it down. But that doesn't mean the bank overall fails.
And you don't need as many tellers, so you save money there. You don't need a manager. That'd be one less manager you need, so you save money there. So, but you're going to they're going to dwindle down to where it's just going to probably be 3 banks, and all the smaller ones are all going to probably end up being consumed by those banks. I think that's the direction we're heading.
Sure. And Doc just says, I'm seriously thinking of leaving the country if things continue to fail here or fall here. But here's the deal. I thought about that too, but where are you going to go? I mean, my situation, I've got 35 plus Second Amendment tools. Where am I going to send those? Because where I go, they go. I mean, I'm thinking just get me 10 acres in the middle of nowhere and F the world, man. I don't know.
Well, as bad as the United States is run, and it is, it's terribly run as a country. It's about the only country you got that much freedom for guns. I mean, most countries you move to, they're going to have, it's going to be very restricted on your guns.
Right.
So you might as well stay here.
Wow. Did you see what OC just said in the chat about his bank account? Oh, my. You see that?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh. But you got your money, and they didn't take your money, correct? OC? That's terrible customer service, however. Just terrible. But I'm assuming they didn't say, hey, we're closing you down and taking all your money. Unless, of course, you gave the cat man your bank account number, and they might be in trouble. Oh, my, I can't stop. So, El Salvador is Pro 2A, but I don't know if I'll ship it there. Interesting. Got my money, but flat BS. Yeah, 100, dude. That sucks. So, you're pro nickel, but your goal is 10,000 dimes, which you may have, may not have. You probably do because you're a rich man.
No, I don't have. I would not. I don't think. No, I don't have 10,000 dimes. But I have.
Why are you my nickel and not my dime?
I'm saying that your basic thing you would want to have is that's all the silver. You don't want a lot of silver. I think dimes would be the way to go. And I have a lot, but not that many. And I do have, I have silver quarters. I've got war nickels. I've got silver halves. I've got 90%, 40%.
My penny.
I've got Morgan and peace dollars. I've got a lot of constitutional. About half my silver is constitutional.
You got pieces of me. I'm touched. Is it because you love me so much?
I guess. I probably have in ounces, probably about 6,000 ounces in constitutional, probably something like that.
Well, you do understand that I sent you that Canadian dime, right?
Yeah, I've got quite a few Canadian silver pieces.
You're getting another one because, and you know what's funny about the 80% Canadian dime? Maybe you can educate me. This is why I got rid of it. If you look online, it says like 12 of them make an ounce. Now, how can that be if it's 80% and it takes 90% to make an ounce? Are they bigger?
No, they're small. They're smaller.
That's what I thought. So the internet's lying to me. That's why I ain't got time to do the math. I don't know how 80% Canadian works. That's why I gave it to you.
Yeah. It would be at least, it'd probably take about 20.
That's what I was thinking, 18 to 20. I mean, because it takes 35, or it takes 18 war nickels. So it's probably 15 or 16, probably 17. But silver, that's my guess.
When I started in silver in 1999, Canadian dollars were king. Everybody wanted the 80% Canadian silver dollar. I don't know why. I never could figure that out. But that was, man, they were a lot harder to win on auctions than Morgans and peace dollars were. Now, I don't know why. It's not the case now. I don't think, it's almost like nobody wants Canadian silver anymore. But at one time, I don't know why. It could be the condition the country or Canada was in. Maybe it was thought of as in a better position than, say, the United States as far as debt and all the other. I don't know.
I don't mind Canadian silver, but I need the math done on it, and I can't get a straight answer. So, I mean, if I got a tube of 80% dimes and it equaled X amount of weight, and I know what the weight is, and I got a good deal on it, I would do it because, to me, silver, gold is gold. But I'm a rhino that way. Oh my! So, what do you got for war nickels? My nickel.
I've got them counted, but I can't remember what the number is. But I've got a jug full of them. I put them in jugs, so I've got plastic jugs. Well,
18 war nickels make an ounce. So how many ounces would you guess you have in war nickels? My nickel.
Oh, I probably only have. I think of all that type of silver, I think I have fewer war nickels than anything. But I would say I probably have at least, I think, 350, maybe 400 of them.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably about what I got. So let me ask you this. You and I, we agree on most things, on a lot of things. There's a couple things that we differ on, but you and I both agree that 40% is a good thing to have. Most people despise 40%. In fact, someone on a video said 40% is wrong, is wrong institutional, which I thought was actually funny. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because it's harder to melt it down and get the silver out? Because honestly, seven of them make an ounce, and sometimes you can get a good deal on 40%. I got no problem in the world with 40%, but the world hates it. What do you think that's all about?
I don't know if the world hates it. I think the silver community doesn't like it much. It's not very favorable. But again, if you get 40% Ike dollars, you're right at an ounce. You're a little bit short of an ounce, but it's like 96%. So I mean, you're almost, and you can't get a better deal than buying Ike dollars. You can get them sealed up, new mint condition sealed, and you can still get them for around 10 if you look enough and you are patient enough. You can find them for $10. And
see, blue collar says 40%. Man, people don't like it.
And if you get the and plus it's a collectible piece because they weren't really circulated, so you get a bonus there. You're going to get your mint condition. You're getting it 50 cent. You usually get about 50 cent over spot. So you're really getting pretty much what the silver you pay for the silver. That's pretty much what you're paying for it. And it'll always be probably worth at least $10 because it's a perfect coin, uncirculated and sealed. So it's not, if silver goes down, I think you're covered more with Ikes. That's why I like Ikes a lot.
I like 40% too. I was talking to Dennis at
Warning, one message detected.
Silver Street Gold and Silver. Apparently I didn't mute my phone. My bad. And he had a bunch of 40%. I should have bought some. He was going to give me a deal on it. He was getting ready to send it to the refiner to melt down because people didn't want him. He couldn't move them. But I talked to Just Stack It, Matt, and he brought up a good point. He goes, at times that silver is not abundant like normal, because normally, I mean, there is no silver shortage, but sometimes there's a shortage in the market as far as what's available. He goes, your LCSs will put 40% out, and I've found that to be true. But people still just don't love it. Like I think it's great. I really don't mind 40%, man. I wouldn't stack it exclusively. I wouldn't stack anything exclusively, but I would stack 90% exclusively over 40% for sure. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's too unloved, man.
Well, silver is plentiful. It's plenty. I'm telling you, there is no shortage. If someone tells you we're about to run out of silver, you move on. Don't pay attention to them, because every freaking auction that I look at, every auction has silver on it. So just think how many auctions are going on and how many each day. Then for the week, the month, it's always a ton of silver on there. Silverware, weighted silver coins. There's just a ton of it.
What's the 720 Mexican stuff that Blue Collar's talking about? I don't know nothing about that.
Let me see.
Oh my!
Oh yeah. There are pesos that are 72% silver. Now that's one thing about the peso. There's like 10%, 72%, 90%. There's a bunch of silver dollars, and there's all different content of silver in them. And I think maybe that's why a lot of people some people don't like the peso, because you've got all that you like. You don't like to do is figure it up, and there's so many of them that's got so many different amounts of silver in them. I think a lot of people don't like the silver pesos. I have no problem. I got a lot of silver pesos too, so I've got no problem with it. I've got a bunch of those 10% ones. I may have 1,000 of those.
Wow. So, how much nickel do you have? My nickel.
Oh my Lord! I probably had over 1,000 pounds, probably.
Oh my God! What's it about? Like $1.70 a pound or something?
$1.70.
I don't know.
It's always it's always higher than copper. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's never been lower than copper. So it's
Oh,
right now it's about $7.50 a pound.
And you said you got how much?
Oh, I've got over 1,000. I've got every 12 pieces of silver plate I have that's copper. Just every 12 of those is over a pound.
Michael
I got
Smith.
a lot of that.
Michael Smith, is that the Michael Smith I think it is?
Oh, copper.
Ooh,
That's copper.
My.
I got a lot of copper too. Over 1,000 pounds of copper, and mostly that's silverware. I mean, I do have a few bars, other forms of copper. I've got that. I've got copper wire. I've got copper, like the pipes and stuff that they leave out when they get done, and you can just pick it up almost for nothing. So copper, it's great. I don't think most people would have room to store it, so it'd be better to do it ETF wise. But unless you got a barn, if you got a barn, you can fill up with it. You're okay.
Now let me tell you, that is Michael Smith. Let me tell you about this man. We call him Smitty. We work together. First of all, he's got one short. I didn't realize you had a channel, bro. There we go. Boom. Go sub him up. Show him some love, Mike Lowry. That's our joke. Anyway, this man, I'll tell you about this man. He likes to crack jokes. He's like, "What's up, you racist white Republican?" When I walk into work, we have a lot of fun with it. He's mostly a Republican too because he's an investor. Very successful guy. But his ass come in for a job interview. First of all, he was late. And I was like, man, showing up late to an interview. I don't know about you, son. That's what I'm thinking. And turns out he was in the Navy. Of course, I'd be cracking jokes about that too. But, and I said, well, why do you want to work here? He goes, well, I want to help put my son through college. Okay. That ex-serviceman, you got a job. We have a lot of fun together. There's his channel link in the description below. Maybe he can quit being a simp and make some videos and we can sub him up and show him some love. Oh, my. All right, anyway. Appreciate you coming in, bro. I'll see you at work when I see you, my brother. That was off topic. Okay, so I'm sorry. Where were we? I just didn't expect to see him pop in. In fact, let's make him blue. Let's give him a wrench. Oh, my. Let's make him a moderator.
Now, as far as nickel bars, I've got over 100 pounds of nickel bars.
When are you going to send me a bar, bro?
Man, it costs too much to ship it.
You are so damn cheap. Let me tell you something about this man. Y'all catch his lives? Probably not, because he keeps the chat off, which we all hate. You got to stop doing that. But his internet goes out 24/7 on lives. Now, if you want to make videos, you need good internet, man, especially doing lives. What is it going to take to get you to upgrade that pack? Or at least call them and say, hey, I'm a big-time YouTuber. My shit ain't working. Can you fix me up? I mean, you got to do something, man, because it drops on you all the time.
Well, they did. They're supposed to have worked on it, upgraded around here, and they did. I did see the truck.
Beto, yeah, totally. Beto, I'm sorry, man. You see what he said?
I do have the cheapest one.
Of course he does. You got dial up, don't you?
No, I don't have dial up.
Oh, God.
I still use a landline, though.
Well, maybe get dial up cheaper. I shouldn't tell you that, because then your internet will never be able to stream a video.
Well, dial up is probably more expensive than, well, the AT&T it is. It's more expensive than probably your cell phone service. But I got that by getting this package. I got the phone for $25 a month, so that's not bad.
Oh, man. Oh, man, you are cheap, but you're a good sport about it. At least you admit it. Tighter than... Oh, my. I'm not going to say that on here.
The only thing I spend money on is Little Debbie's, Buffalo Burgers, a few other groceries, and I put almost everything into investments and bills.
Well, you do have a sugar addiction, man. That's for sure. Your diet's terrible. It concerns me very much. Well, it's not good for you, man.
Well, so anyway, I mean, I got art, me and Pseudo was figuring that up. I probably have between 2,500 and 3,000 pieces of art. And
Rhonda, what's up?
And you can bet that if the ones that are triple matted, they're worth about 350 no matter what. Just to frame the glass and the triple matting in it. It costs a fortune to get that done if you've ever checked it.
Now I forget, do you have any rhodium?
No, I sold it when it was at record highs. So
how high did it go? It was pretty high. What was it, like 20 grand or something?
30,000.
Oh my! How much did you have?
1 gram.
What'd you get for that?
Somewhere in the neighborhood of 800.
Oh my!
And I paid 112 for it.
Who did you rob, son? You must have robbed somebody. I know you. You're too cheap to pay that much.
Well, at the time, I paid more than it was worth. The premium was outrageous, and I didn't know if I'd ever get my money back out of it at 112. But then when it went up to 30,000, I'd more than got my money back on it. I've made more of that than any bullion that I've had.
Oh my! Well, you ain't sold a lot of bullion yet. So Beto, man, he's baiting you. Oh Lord! You see what Beto said? Oh my!
Oh, Napa's going to get nailed. What's this other little one that drives around? I don't know what they're going to do because these mechanics, they order it and then they have it driven to them, and those kind of companies are going to get slammed, and I mean badly. So,
I thought about this actually. So, your auto parts are going to be more expensive, right?
If they have,
but so are the new cars. So I think it's going to come down to what's cheaper for people to fix their cars with parts they can't afford, or to buy new cars they can't afford. I mean, it's kind of scary, dude.
No, I think the smartest move is going to be to try to keep what you have going as long as you possibly can.
I agree.
And so yeah, I mean, but what happens is only the bigger ticket items will countries send in here because they will just not send certain ones in because when you figure the tariffs in, they know that it's not going to sell or they're not going to make as much profit on it. So we'll be very limited in what comes in here. So you're going to have shortages. What does come is going to be high, and what doesn't come is going to be out.
Supply and demand, dude. So OC sold his dealership 4 years ago. He saw the writing on the wall. Who'd you sell it to? The cat guy?
I think he said that to me once. I think it was his partners.
Kenji's Lambo parts are going to go up. Well, he's rich, Beto. It don't matter. Just ask him. He'll tell you. Kenji. Oh, my.
Yeah, he came in the sales the other day as Lamboy.
He is just a professional troll. That's all he does, man.
I thought Sal would block him, but he didn't.
Really?
Yep. Usually, because he was doing the same old stuff. You're poor if you got silver. You're stupid if you got silver. Only poor, stupid people stack silver. And you'll be poor forever if you got silver. And that's not necessarily true. If you got up to 50,000 ounces of silver, you're going to be in really, really good shape.
Well,
even a $2 move, $2. If it went up $2 in a year, if you have 50,000 ounces, you're up $100,000.
Well, and this is what I say about silver. A lot of people think I'm negative on silver. I'm not. It's my favorite metal. I think it's the most aesthetically pleasing, the most useful metal. However, it moves up very slow, and it struggles with price points very, very much. That being said, I've got a lot of it, and that is where you win with silver. Silver is so cheap to have a lot of. When I tell people I want a warehouse full of silver, I'm not kidding you. Because that's where you make your money on silver, people, because you can stack it consistently and stack it cheaply. And a small move, like the Rhino said, my nickel, a.k.a. the Rhino, according to his thing, when it makes a small move, if you've got thousands of ounces and you offload some, you can really make some money. I think gold pound for pound, so to speak, forgive the pun, will perform better. But if you got enough silver people, you're going to be in damn good shape.
Well,
believe that.
But the trends are you're going to have more solar panels made. Need silver. The older our country's getting old, so the people's going to be needing medical devices. You got to have silver. Mexico is past peak mine, so they're going to start mining out. And when the mines close in Mexico, it's going to be have a huge effect on silver in the marketplace. It's just going to be a huge thing when it happens. So the future looks better for silver. Is it going to get to 1,000? No, it won't.
Well, now wait a minute. That's not what channels like Ron and Surfer have lead me to believe. That I'm going to be rich, man. It's going to the moon, baby.
Well, I understand he's back talking about silver again. You know, it was the men.
Ron? Does his fart meme coin take a dump again?
Yeah.
Well, that's what got him the views, was lying about silver and pumping it.
Yeah, but I think once he kind of backed off silver, I think he lost it.
Imagine that. Huh. I don't watch him because he's a liar. Nice guy, but he's full of it. And the thing with these guys, what they do is they never say the banks are going to fail and you're going to be out. They say the banks are going to fail if this happens and that happens. They never say silver's going to make you rich and go to 500, but they pave the path to make you think that's going to happen. And that's a lie. You know, if people believe that, like, think back, y'all. Y'all are seasoned in here, okay? Seasoned like beef jerky on an open campfire, okay? But think back to being a new stacker. How exciting it was, man. I mean, it really was, and it still is, but it really was. And to be a new stacker and being all into it and stacking metal, and you're on that metal high, and you come across this channel with massive followers, and they're telling you that you could be rich. You know, they're paving this pathway of your thinking. Dude, that might get people to sell their house and go all in. That might get people to cash out their retirements and go all in. That's really irresponsible, and I despise channels that do that. I don't think they're good people. I'm sorry. For views, nope, that's wrong. You're selling out morally.
Well, if you put everything you had into silver, nope, don't take a mortgage out on it. But if that was the only investment you had, but you put everything you had in it and you really put quite a bit into it, you probably would be all right. I mean, you would have a lot of silver. Probably have 100,000 ounces.
I agree, but they don't tell you're going to be all right. You know, they pave the mindset of, oh, it's going to 500 an ounce. You're going to be, you know, even Zhang does that. And Mike Maloney, who, by the way, The Hidden Secrets of Money, I think it's 9 episodes. That is the best compilation I've ever seen on YouTube, and that was Mike Maloney. But they pave this mindset, and that really pisses me off because it makes legitimate stacking channels like us look like scumbags.
Maloney's also big on cryptos, though.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he really believes in cryptos. So he thinks you should have cryptos and silver.
Well, where you and I differ. What's up, Jerry? Where you and I differ is I got my hand in everything, man. Stocks, cryptos. The base of my wealth is silver. I'm trying to up the gold holdings, but I do have a silver addiction. I'm very comfortable having the base of my wealth in physical assets. But I believe that markets should be played. I believe there's a lot of potential there. You don't have the stomach for it, but you're old. I mean, what are you, 75? You're 75 now, and you've already made your damn money.
Now, if you're in your probably late 50s, early 60s, I don't think it's something you probably want to play around with. I think you want physical assets. I think you want tried and true. If you're going to invest in stocks, you want blue chips, probably pay dividends. That's what you're going to want to do. It's just safer. Not as much risk.
Doc's right. I do need some land. I've been looking into buying about 10 acres. And I agree with what you just said. And see, I'm in the middle. What's up? JC's in the house. I'll be 45 this year. I got a lot of silver, people. I can't tell you how much because I don't know. I ain't got that much gold. I hate to admit it. I'm working on it. I got a lot of silver, and I'm looking at it from the perspective of, okay, I don't want to say I'm middle age because I ain't going to see 90. So I'm late age, given how many years I'm probably going to live. But I have enough of a basis of wealth. I don't know how many thousands of ounces I have, but it's in the thousands, that I feel comfortable playing with a portion of my capital in crypto and stock markets. And I take a portion of what I play and I put it into blue chips. I make that my base, kind of like silver. And then I also play with the higher risk stuff because I'm not retiring next year. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of, are we bullish on platinum? I think we agree on that too. Doc wants to know. Yes, but I'm not as bullish on platinum as I was 3 months ago. What do you think, Nickel? I think 3 to 5 ounces is my target.
I think if the BRICS continues to grow, and that's pretty much a BRICS metal, and they are able to decouple from the United States with their own system, I think platinum comes back up. I think it will take back off. I think what's holding it back now is that we are trying to control the price so the BRICS nations can't profit from it. I mean, I think that's really what's going on. And Russia is platinum, South Africa's platinum.
I personally, I think the BRICS nations is going to be good for all the metals, gold, because they want to go back to currency, platinum, silver. I think it's all going to trend upward tonight. I do think, unlike the cat stacker, aka the platinum ninja, which is funny because one of the arts of ninjutsu is the art of invisibility, which is like his stack. It's invisible and no one's ever seen it. If y'all know, you know. I think it will be good for all metals, and I do think BRICS is going to. I mean, BRICS has been around. It was formed in 2000, I think, and it started really gaining momentum in 2009. Is that right?
I think remember. It was. I don't think it. I think it was after that. I think so. But it was always said it won't. There would be 3 countries, no more would be in it, and then it got 5.
Right.
I think it's 22 majors and 40 something minors now. And a minor for it is you got to be either in the association so long before you become considered a major. So
and it keeps growing. And I don't want to get y'all's panties in a twist, but we got to be realistic here, people. We're not the most desirable trade partner. We haven't been for a long time. And like him or not, the guy that's running things now is not doing very good with foreign relations. A lot of countries don't like us right now. And I think that's going to make BRICS form stronger trade alliances with them, amongst themselves, and not take us along for the ride. Just saying, that seems to be the way things are trending. Yeah, and that might make some people upset, but that's just, if you open your eyes and take emotion out of it, it's right in front of you.
Yeah, if you go visit a country, if you go to France, don't wear a red hat. That'd be my best advice.
Hey,
you don't know what you're going to be eating. I just tell you that.
Speaking of hat, I find this interesting. Have you noticed? And I don't think, and I'm not one of them tinfoil hat people. I can't stand them. But have you noticed that instead of wearing the red hat, Trump's been wearing the white hat with the gold etched "Make America Great Again" thing? Now, what I'm thinking. He's talking about this golden era thing, blah, 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 whatever. That ain't going to happen under tariffs. I'm sorry, it's not. But I wonder if there's like another subliminal message there because he is pro-gold. I've noticed that lately. I was like, that's interesting. Maybe he's trying to tell something about gold. I don't know.
I'm doubting that there's going to be much change in gold with him. I doubt it. You talking about like a gold standard or something?
Oh, hell no. I'm talking about gold price. I mean, gold's done really well under him both terms, actually, so far. I just wonder. I wonder if he's telling people buy gold, man. I don't know.
No, he probably would tell you if he.
That's correct, Rhonda, but it's getting worse because of our trade. That was my point. Other countries, we're really alienating ourselves from other countries at an accelerated rate. So I think they're going to respond by making stronger trade alliances between themselves. I would, if I was them. That was my point.
Well, yeah, when you have tariffs, it's protectionism, it's isolation, it's and so that's what happens. You distance yourself from the other countries. I think that's always happened. And we were an isolated country after World War I. We didn't even really have much of a military. We swore we wouldn't get in another war, and then when Hitler started what he did, then we started going back to building, and we became more military oriented. So, but we tried to stay out of that war as long as we could.
Well, and that's smart because, and Mike Maloney touched on this in his Hidden Secrets of Money. People have the misconception, and he's absolutely right, that war is good for the economy only if you're not in it and you're supplying to those who are. So it's smart to try to stay out of conflict as a country, for any country, I believe, because war is very costly if you're one of the ones fighting it. If you're one of the ones supplying to those countries fighting it, you're in good shape, baby.
Well,
and people don't think about that.
Well, Roosevelt won it in way before we did, but the American people.
He was also an idiot. He was also an idiot. He believed in government stimulus during the Depression. He took us off the gold standard. He was an idiot, man. I'm sorry, he was.
Well, when he set the embargoes up with oil against Japan, that's when Japan hit Pearl Harbor. Then he had his reason to get in. So he had to have the reason.
My, look what Doc just said. You got another one on the nickel team, man. I agree with half what you said. I voted for him the last 2 times. I voted for myself this time, but I am very disappointed. You see that, Nickel? You're not alone, my brother.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple people that's encouraged me and said, keep saying it because, I think that you're right. So,
But what you need to do is you need to tell the libtardations, I don't want to say the word, like Cardone and Pops, that just because your guy didn't do what you like doesn't mean you're a leftist, because people think you're this or you're that. There's no in between. They don't understand that. So you should really make that distinction, I would say.
Well, Trump, if you went back to more like what he did Trump term 1, he could actually turn this around and actually do pretty decent. But
he could. As long as he doesn't mess with my guns this time, he could be phenomenal.
Well, so far he hasn't done anything to guns, not yet.
I know. And I noticed this time he's taken a way more pro 2A stance and a way worse economic stance, whereas before it was all economics and, he didn't do right by the guns. It's very strange, man.
I disagree. I disagree. I think he just hadn't got the guns yet.
Well, I'm talking about thus far. So we'll see. I'm trying to find a silver lining here, okay, man?
Well, I think there's a chance that he would sacrifice the AR-15 to get a deal, because 2026 he's going to be dealing with Democrats in the House and the Senate because they're going to control. I can promise you, we're going to have the same thing happen to us that we had that Canada you just saw in Canada.
And so, what Doc just said, Biden sucked big time. Doc, I'm 100% on the same page as you. I ain't happy with Trump. Biden was really bad. Definitely not a leftist. Anyway, go ahead, Nickel, but I'm just saying, it's nice to know that there are other people that are smart enough to see that what Trump's doing sucks, but Biden was worse. So thank you for that.
So what could you offer the other side that would get appeasement, and that'd be the AR-15 because they would love to see that banned. So you could reach across the aisle with that, and so I'm very concerned that something like that will happen in the near future.
Yeah, but what's he going to gain from that, really, other than the 2026 elections? Because he's a lame duck. Regardless of what he tells people, he can't run again. That ain't going to happen. So it don't matter if people love him or hate him. He's out in 3.5 years or whatever it is. So
he wants to stay in 4 years, and he may not if he don't try to appease them some way. Because he could very well be impeached this time. I mean, I
Yeah,
think.
but how many presidents have been impeached in our lifetime? A lot of them, and they're still in office. So that's not really a threat either.
Well, but they may get the votes. They may have the votes in the Senate this next time.
Okay, so they impeach him, and what happens? Nothing.
If we are in almost a depressionary state, there's going to be a lot of Republicans that's going to cross over. He's going to be in trouble this time.
Chef's in the house. Your Sadoshi's here.
Yeah.
Chef. My chef. El Chef-a-Rooney. Man, all I know is CS 2024 would have been the best option. I tried telling Nickel. I got one vote, and it was from me. Maybe next year I'll get two. I'm running against the Catman again. Catman ran last year, if y'all remember.
But the main thing is try to get the war stopped. But now we got India and Pakistan getting into it hot and heavy. So
that concerns me, man. You want to get into that?
Well, I looked it up. India has 180 nuclear weapons. Pakistan has 170. So, and Pakistan's already threatened to use them. So, I mean, if it comes down to army and tanks and all that, India's got a big advantage. And so that they would use them if I guess India invaded and they were winning ground. They could very well use them. They're threatening to, and that ain't good. So I mean, you got that problem now brewing. You've got China now picking on the Philippines, which I think is kind of stupid because we got all kinds of bases there, and could the United States and China end up in a hot war? I don't know. It's bad. The relationship between the two of us is about as bad as I've seen it.
I hope not, but I do hear from a guy. There's a guy that says nothing in China works, none of their military equipment. So there's that.
Well, I'll tell you this. I read what OC said. 20,000 UPS workers gone. It was, and I can tell you. That's not anything to do with Biden. That is these tariffs that's causing that. That's just the way it is.
Oh my!
And let's face it, most of the jobs that get lost are going to be the higher paying ones, and they're going to try to replace it with the less paying job. And I'm sure most of them will because they got to. But that's less tax revenue, and I don't think he's bringing the revenue in that he had planned with these tariffs.
Well, Doc, not according to the Catman, and the Catman has been saying China's going to fail for the last 2 years. So I don't know. I tend to agree with you, Doc. China's definitely someone I don't want to contend with, but there is a guy in a basement that ain't got no job, no assets, and no money that says otherwise. So he must know something. Oh my! I'm going off. I'm going to stop.
One flaw that China has is that they don't have much military combat experience. So that works against them because they haven't really been these guys that's in their forces now. Their troops, they have not really had many altercations, and really been under live fire. So they've had drills, they practice, they train, but they haven't had really life and death. Bullets going over your head, whistling through whistling by. So,
well, there's a lot of them, and I will say this about China: there are a lot of people that don't understand their economy. There are a lot of them. Number one, and number two, they have an advantage based on that, and based on the fact that they got a lot of money. They manufacture everything that the world uses. And what does China hold more of than probably anybody else? Starts with a G and ends with a D, correct. So
and
they got a lot, yes, but they're very gold heavy. They got a lot of advantages, and I would just assume not piss China off too much. But we're going down the path of pissing them off more than we should.
And their ability to produce is phenomenal. So, I mean, if we got in a war scenario, they could produce more tanks than they're losing. So,
yeah, Chef, make some damn videos. Come on, man.
So it would be, yeah. You would That's why Hitler had a problem in World War II. We were the industrial mega giant, and we could build tanks so fast,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what caused him a lot of trouble.
Well, and if you look at, I've had this discussion with guys like Leo Gantz. We disagree very much about China. The Catman, the Platinum Ninja, the Cat Stacker, Neil Han Dynasty. He believes the same that Leor does with China. And I'm telling you right now, China has assets and they have things and people, and their ability to manufacture it's there. And I don't want nothing to do with it, man. I really don't. China scares me.
Well, and they dominate the automobile industry. Now you can't buy a Chinese car in the United States market, but they dominate the world in that. And
which is interesting because here all we get are the Japanese vehicles, which are very good. And the Korean vehicles.
Yeah. Kia is a very popular vehicle.
Which is Korean, and you got Nissan and Toyota and Honda, which are all Japanese, which are phenomenally built. The other thing I want to say about China, too, is what guys like the Catman and Leor don't seem to understand. Leor probably does, but it doesn't concern him for some reason. He's a very smart guy, though. Is that look at BRICS. Look at China, brokering peace deals between the countries and BRICS that don't get along. They're not stupid. They want all these other countries to get along so they can all band together to cut us out. I really see that happening. And that's scary.
And China's expanding. They want to sell their products in every country. The United States is getting isolated. We don't.
It's very scary. It's very concerning to me.
And so there's nothing the United States makes what we do make. There's nothing we have that they can't get from another country. So they don't have to have our products.
Correct.
And we have to have theirs for the simple reason we don't have a substitute. And it would take forever for the infrastructure to do manufacturing again. And it would be very expensive for us to do manufacturing again.
Well, see, Doc, what you just said, Neil says that all the time, but here's the thing, okay? It depends how much they hate us. If they hate us more than they hate each other, they're going to figure it out. And China's going to be a very big player in that because China has the bigger picture type thinking. And that's why, quit calling me junk, Sheffy. And that's why China is trying to make peace with all these other countries so they can band together and cut us out. So that's very scary, especially with the way things are going, because we're not being friendly to the rest of the world. We're not even being amicable at this point, if you really think about it. That's just my opinion. But hell, it's just our retirements and our money. Who cares?
I think BRICS will figure it out. I think that they're.
Me too.
And if China would be a little bit more of a team player, BRICS probably already would have. And yep.
Well, that's my point. The way what's up, JK? No, it's not, dude. It's a reality meeting. So, take emotion out of it. Use your eyes. That's what this is. So that's the point. We might just push China to the fact that they might become a better team player with these other countries to reach that end goal, and that's very concerning. Just you don't got to love everything the guy that your party does. That's all I'm saying, JK, because I don't. I just don't.
Well, they're reaching out to India to try to sell their products. Another thing China can do is they can just lower the product price of theirs in order to get them in other markets. So they are. I mean, I'm telling you, I really think China is in a better position than we are.
100% agree. So Rhonda says, question: are you prepared for the lights to go out? Nickel's not, because he's too cheap to buy candles. Probably. I'm just kidding. Actually, I got a lot of candles. I got a lot of food that I don't have to cook. Because I went without power a couple of winters ago for 4.5 days. And I was like, you know what? It's time to stock up on food that I don't have to cook. Propane for my gas grill, candles, stuff like that. So depends how long we're talking.
Well, that's why it's always nice to have a fireplace. If you got a fireplace, at least you're going to have heat.
Well, I'll burn the neighbor's place down, I guess, if it comes to that. No, I'm just kidding. Speaking of heat, can y'all answer me a question? I struggle with this, and I have for years, okay? Every year, it seems like, when the winter hits, you hear about all these people in homes dying from the cold. Now, what do you have in your house? Clothes, blankets. How does that happen? I don't get it.
Well, you can also use your electric oven. You wouldn't want to do a gas, I don't think, but you could open the door up on your electric oven and you could get heat from that.
I'm just wondering, is that fake news? Because if I'm cold and I got 3 blankets and I'm still cold, I'm grabbing 2 more, or I'm putting on another hoodie. I mean, that has never made sense to me. On the street, I get it. That can happen. But in a house with clothes and blankets, how in the hell do you freeze to death unless you're trying to? Or unless you're so old and invalid you don't have the mental capacity. I can see that. But come on now. I just think it's weird. I mean, Nickel, you're pretty old. Did you have the mental capacity to grab another blanket?
Yeah. I think I have. I think I could probably cover myself with 10 if I had to.
That's what I'm saying. And there ain't no way you're going to freeze in your house with 10 blankets on. It ain't going to happen.
Well, you're still going to be uncomfortable, though.
Not me. I'm fat. I sweat. 10 blankets. That's a lot of heat, man. I'm telling you, I've gone camping in the woods. I went one time where I only had like 2 blankets and I froze my butt off. It was about 20 degrees at night, 15 degrees. That was a mistake. Anyway, but I've also gone in the same conditions and I've had, 6, 7 blankets. I was warm as a tortilla, man.
Well, Rhonda said dogs. Well, I had a Chihuahua, but that little sucker, he was.
That ain't gonna help.
Yeah, he was. And well, I'll tell you what happened. In the winter months, he would sleep away from you, and then in the summer months, he'd be all over top of you. I'm going, Chico, you're too freaking hot. Get off of me. So,
well, owning a Chihuahua is pretty much like owning a cat. It makes me question if you like the ladies or not, but that's okay. I'll give you a mulligan on that.
Oh, man.
Next thing I know, you're going to start stacking cats and Chihuahuas, and I'm going to have to start wondering.
Well, I'll tell you what. They're great watchdogs. Professional criminals say that the dog they don't want to come up against is a Chihuahua because a Chihuahua will stay with them. It will harass them the whole time they're in the house.
See, look at that right there. Rhonda Holt. Mastiffs, pits, etc. Yeah, rots, German Shepherds, Labs. Buddy, she's got more manly taste in dogs than you. That concerns me.
Well, for the money, you can't beat a Chihuahua because they don't eat as much, and so they're cheaper to maintain, and they're really ferocious. And it don't look good if you kick him or kill him or shoot him. That's just going to be an extra couple years on your sentence. That's all I can tell you.
Oh my! The doc has a prediction, man. You see that?
Collab.
Yeah, rat dogs, exactly. Oh, the
collab.
dog.
Yeah, the only collaboration will be when Neil needs to sell his osmium, and I'll give him 10 cents on the dollar. Then we'll collaborate.
You're gonna have to pay him to ship it to you, though, probably.
Yeah, I may have to pay that, but. So I'm waiting. I'm holding out. I'm waiting. So when I get that call, would you like to buy my osmium? And I'll say,
"What's up? What's up, Tiger?" Actually, it's funny the Tiger came in because I did want to ask you. We're talking about metals. What do you think about goldbacks? My nickel. Tiger reminded me of that because I believe he's pro goldback, and I'm not trying to sound like an a-hole, but I think stacking gold at $6,600 an ounce is ridiculous. It's cool to collect them here and there, buy one to get the shipping up to the free shipping, hand them out for tips at a restaurant to educate people along with some cash. I get that. But for stacking, I think it's absolute lunacy personally. What do you think, my nickel? You're pretty cheap, so I'm thinking you're probably going to agree.
Well, it depends when you bought them. If you bought them when they first came out, you probably are up. But it's a lot like crypto. Not very many businesses will accept that for a service or a product. So I look at it.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Depends on when you bought them, which is true for everything. Would you stack them today if you wanted to stack gold, fractional gold, or would you prefer a 1/10 ounce piece?
I would prefer the coin or the bar. I don't. I just think that with the premiums on them, that no, it would not be smart at this point in time to do it.
I mean, I got a fair amount of money, but I'm too damn poor to buy gold at $6,600 an ounce personally. I think they're neat. I think they're hella cool.
It is another form of fractional. So
and they are gorgeous, but I can't do it, man. I have one somebody sent me. I don't remember who. I don't even know where it is, but they are so cool. But I can't spend $6,600 an ounce for gold. I've done the math, and that's about what it comes out to. I just can't do it.
I imagine it was Chef. He sent me one.
I don't remember who sent me one. It might be Stack Gold, actually.
They are durable. I tested them. I washed them in the wash machine.
Hardcore's in the house. That's weird. She never comes by. What's up, Hardcore?
And I put them in the dryer, and they held up really well. So they hold up as well as a dollar bill or a what? Yeah, they are. I'm sure they tested them before they put them out on the market.
See, Tiger says he bought them at $367. Okay, if you bought them there, you're stacking gold at about $3,600 an ounce. You're doing okay. Stop there is what I would say, because these days it just don't make sense. Because these days you're looking at $6,600 an ounce, but if you bought them at $367, you get done okay. Actually, I would say, honestly, but you came out ahead, really.
But it would also be very hard for you if you buy a gold fractional coin or bar right now. You get your premium back because it's going up like it's going up at the rate.
Yep.
That's not even you didn't even have to worry about that. That's not even a factor now.
You remember a year ago I was totally against 1/10. Now I love it because of that. Because at how gold's performing, I'm comfortable with that premium because I make it back.
Now the go backs, it's a little harder to do. I mean, gold has to go up even more than it is now, and so there's the disadvantage of it. But yeah, if you can get them, if somebody wants to get rid of them and get a deal on it, shoot, yeah, I'd probably
I'd do that 100%. But I wouldn't pay what the bullion dealers are asking. I can't justify that right now.
No, I mean no. And I still think silverbacks would be better to have than that, but they're so freaking expensive to get. They're even more expensive.
No, and those are backed by a scumbag that stole my video content and my LCS. So we don't support that guy on this channel.
Yeah,
the premiums on silverbacks are even worse. Yeah, you're right. They're terrible. I mean, the silverbacks are just insane. Sugar Man. Damn, Hardcore's never in here. That's crazy. You see that, Nickel? Your lady friend's here.
Yeah, I saw that. So if you have, in case of a crap hit the fan scenario, it is another form of fractional gold, but who would take it? Say that's another problem you got. They know what a gold coin is and a bar. They may be a little bit nervous to take a go back.
Well, what's funny, and what's funny is people say, "Oh, get the gold back because people ain't gonna understand 90% silver." Let me break it down for you, folks. If someone doesn't understand 90% silver, they sure in the hell aren't going to understand what a gold back is. Just saying. Because old people remember silver was in our money, kind of. Old people don't know a gold back, and the young people don't understand what silver is.
I think go backs, if we did try to go back to a gold standard, I think they would be pivotal for that.
Oh, it'd be neat. Oh, absolutely. If they could, they'd be so cool.
You can make them any amount you want, so they would be good for that. But
I might get me a few just for fun, but yeah, I can't stack them. They are cool though.
But what is the biggest amount of go back you can get? 100?
It's a good question. I'm all tangled up here with my cords. What's going on? Oh my!
We know the smallest was $1, and I know there's 50s. I just don't know what the biggest one is. I figure it's 100.
That's what OC says. He says 100. Copperback. Wonder if there's any out there.
Copperback.
How about the platinum back? The palladium back? The rhodium back. Oh my! What would the premium be on a rhodium back? Oh my!
Well, a lot of people when I first got into stacking, almost I would say 80% of the stackers thought that we'd have a crap hit the fan crisis, and we'd have to go to a barter system. I don't think that's the case now. I think it's
whoa. Who are you? What have you done with my rhino? You talk a lot about having like 90% for barter. So now you're saying barter is not going to happen? I'm very confused. I have to ask.
No, I think my personal opinion, I'm still with it. I still think that something will happen and we'll have to barter. However, I'm saying now that the train of thought is it's probably 50-50, 40-60, that maybe 40% think that's going to happen. So because the younger stackers I don't think that they think that's going to happen.
I don't either. I think we'll be selling our stacks to get by, because I think things are going to get more expensive as time goes on, especially with the guy at the helm in the trade wars. But yeah, I don't. But that's just me. I mean, nobody knows. I think, I mean, even if he wasn't doing this trade war garbage, which is stupid, just inflation just keeps going and going as time goes on. So I think in that scenario, I think a lot of us are going to have to start offloading some metals at some point before we really want to, just to pay the bills, man.
And then, but also, Tiger, states could also, and I know Texas does. They have a gold coin and a silver coin that they have produced. So they could also, states could just have their own gold coin and their own silver coin. So you don't have to really have go back for that.
That would be cool if states had their own gold coins, like the quarter, because there's a quarter for all 50 states. That would actually be kind of cool.
And if is Chef still here?
Wow, Beto, Rocky's got more than one dong, huh? Oh yeah. My! What's up, brother? Savage Stackers in the fucking house. That's amazing.
And if Chef's here, I think I won the Amero bet we had, because I just sure don't think Mexico and Canada right now would be wanting to do an Amero in the United States.
John Camper, I don't like dongs. Let's see. Good morning, everyone. It is a Savage Stacker. There's my Savage imitation for you. It's not quite as good as the real thing, but dude, Savage, where have you been, son? Asked the doc. Dude, a lot of people have been asking me, you still talk to Savage? So you are missed, my brother, by a lot of people. Wow. The Savage is in my chat. That's crazy. Oh, see, why ain't you got no wrench? Doc, why ain't you got no wrench? Hold on. Let me wrench you boys up. Quit chatting, people. I can't wrench while you're chatting. Chill out. All right, go ahead, Nickel. I'm sorry. Savage is here. That's crazy. OC is blue. Who else am I making blue?
Yeah, Texas is very independent, man. They are very independent.
Oh, the doc. You're about to be blue.
Chef is here. Well, yeah, I guess you're right, because if there's a change in leadership, then things may be more like they were. So who knows?
The doc says, "What is a wrench?" It means you're a moderator. You can put people in timeout, but everybody in here got a wrench, so you can't be beating on nobody with it. But if Sugar Man, you get one too. But if some scumbag comes in here acting out of line, that means you can punish them. You've got the power. That's what it means. All right. Oh, my.
Yeah, I still think Mexico will join the BRICS. I believe that's going to happen.
Oh, probably.
And I think more likely now. I think they're almost being pushed into doing it with the relations between the United States and Mexico.
All I know is we get a lot of produce at work from Mexico, and I do not want the prices going up. Dude, I'm telling you right now. You know what it costs for what we charge for? Nickel's going to have a heart attack here, y'all. You know what we charge for a one-topping large pizza?
Y'all?
It's about $30 for one topping. You get cheese and another topping because minimum wage is so damn high, and food costs is up. I mean, you had trade war stuff on top of that, dude. Like that $30 pizza is going to be $35. I mean, it's damn scary, man.
Well, wait a minute.
I mean, minimum wage is going up again in July or June. It's going up to almost 17 an hour.
Somebody should break a pizza down. I've already seen Ford. They broke down, I think, a Ford Ranger and had all the parts out there and said, this comes from Canada, this comes from Mexico, this comes from wherever, and they ought to do a pizza that way, where all the ingredients come from. So I don't have any idea. I mean, where the toppings come from.
Yeah, that's cool, Doc. Whatever, my email's on my channel. We'll have to plan something. Oh yeah, well, let me think about it. I've never looked, honestly. So I know our produce comes from Mexico. We got green, salad bar, we got green peppers and stuff, mushrooms, tomatoes. I gotta look at the meats. I'm sure most of them come from the US, but I need to look at that. That's a good point, dude. Now I'm curious. I've never looked.
Well, basically, Mexico, why we need them for that is in the winter months here. We can't, of course, California can go all year and, certain states can, but most states don't. So we need, I guess, to fill that gap until our growing season.
What's up, 68? I'll tell you, and I'm not making a joke, but we have a taco pizza, and I know our beans come from Mexico for our sauce. Those are pretty good. I'm going to look at that over the next week or so when I remember. That's a good question. Huh. Very interesting. Very interesting. I know we just switched our box company to save money. I don't know where they're out of. Man, when you put out new videos, Savage, see, they all want to know, man. They love you, brother. A 10-inch margarita pizza, which, by the way, has no meat on it. So it's the cheapest. The cheapest, $28 at Chef's Place. Yep, California. 10-inch. My large is 15-inch, and it's $30 for a one topping. Oh my!
Yeah, but he's in near LA.
Oh yeah,
and he's at a, I would say, better than normal place to eat. So I mean, you expect that.
Yeah, and then you got Savage, man. Everything where he lives is cheap. Just kidding. Man, it's expensive everywhere. And these blue states are even worse. It's terrible. It really is.
So far, Beto, the bison has stayed the same price so far. So, and I'm pretty sure that comes from a bison ranch or whatever here in America. So I'm pretty sure that's where it's at. I don't know for sure where, but
we should change your name to the Bison Burger King, man. You're eating those all the time.
The Bison Burger Ninja?
Ha! No, because you actually have them. Unlike the Platinum Ninja, who doesn't have any platinum. Oh, Savage is going to get yoked. Look at that. Oh my!
Oh yeah, what Tiger's saying. I want to see that. I need to search for that and see that. The street tips melted gold backs and turned it into solid gold.
That would be a cool video, actually. I'd like to see that. I did see a video. I forget who did it. Somebody melted down a gold back. They said, is there really gold in this? And there was what they were supposed to be, which I never doubted, but that was interesting. But that would be a cool video. Oh, yeah.
So, Chef, are you saying real truffles? That pizza has real truffles.
Well, it looks like J-Lo's in trouble with the law. He's on house arrest.
I'll tell you what, the truffles are freaking expensive. I'll tell you that. You know how they find truffles? Do you know how they do it?
Nope.
They use hogs. Because they're like underground, and you got to sniff them out, and they have an unbelievable ability to do that. And you have to give them a treat so they don't eat the truffle. They get big bucks for those things.
See, hardcore's like, Joseph, what'd you do? He's not in trouble with the law. He's on like some house arrest thing by doctor's orders, I guess. But I had to crack a joke.
And hardcore, I tell you what you want: gator jerky. It's really good.
My.
It comes from the tail. It's very good. I've had that.
Y'all Southerners, man, you'll eat anything. Especially nickel. If it's free, he'll eat it. He don't care.
Yeah, those truffles are there. I've never had them, I don't think, but I wouldn't mind trying one time.
Well, that's probably because they ain't cheap.
Yeah, as long as Constitutional pays for it, I appreciate that.
Oh, that sounded pretty liberal and socialist of you wanting a handout, huh? I'll eat it as long as someone else is paying. The truth comes out. Oh my.
Hardcore licks some tail. I wouldn't lick no alligator tail.
I already suck heads. What does that mean?
Fish heads?
What kind of heads are you sucking? Do I want to know?
Beefalo, I've heard of it, Doc. Steve, if you know Cyclops Stacks, he gets that, and he says they're great. So, and it's also, not only is it beef, it's that, what's that real good beef you can get? McDonald's used to have hamburgers that was made out of that.
Oh, Angus.
Yes, it's Angus mixed with buffalo. Oh, my Lord. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the McDonald's Angus burger, man, that was fire.
Yeah, when I used to get them, I was getting them. When they had them, I'd probably get them twice a week.
That's fake news, man. They were more than $3. You wouldn't pay that.
Oh, no. I would go. That's what I would go after. I liked them.
Yeah, Angus burgers are good.
Too expensive for McDonald's. They can't make a profit probably on it doing it. So
I wish they'd bring it back. I don't like mushrooms; they're nasty. But I got their mushroom Swiss one, man. That anus burger, I call it anus. That was delicious, dude. That was such a good burger. No, Tiger, I'm not a liberal. There are things that I don't go along with everything that my guy does, like an indoctrinated little puppet. I go through the world with my eyes open and I ask questions. However, AOC is hot. Now, is liberalism an STD? Because if it is, I ain't taking that risk. But she's damn good looking as long as she don't speak. And then afterwards, she's got to go.
I saw what Tiger said. I tell you what. The nickel right now is predicting the next president of the United States is AOC. I believe she's got a chance of winning it. I really do.
Oh, no, don't say that, dude. I mean, I hope you're wrong. Oh, my, no, she's terrible.
Well, but the young people every year are a bigger voting bloc, and they love her, college age down.
Oh, my.
And they will show up to vote for her. And I tell you, she's pretty good at activism. She's pretty good, at these rallies and stuff. So she don't know half of what goes on in the world.
No, she's an idiot. She's a smoke show, but she's an idiot. Oh my!
But I'm telling you, people like her, and of the younger set, and I think she could very well win it. And I think she is running. That's
damn scary. That is damn. I don't know how she got reelected, man. She needs to go back to Tenant Bar. She is a nightmare. Again, though, she is a smoke show. Oh, God.
JK says she has no chance. Nope.
Let me ask you this, though. Seriously. I can't stand this guy either. I know Pops loves him, and Pops gets all anally afflicted when I point out that he's a socialist. Bernie Sanders. Why is it? I'm telling you, people are so stupid. They love that guy so much. The young kids, that guy could win an election against anybody. Why doesn't the DOC let him run? I can't stand him, and I'm glad they don't, but wonder why that is.
Well, they took the nomination away from him twice.
But why? He could win.
Well, white male. However, Biden got it.
I got to agree with Tiger. Harris would be better than AOC. God, that pains me to say. Go ahead, Nickel.
Well, I think the ticket will be AOC Bernie Sanders. I think that's what the ticket will be.
Oh, God, I hope not.
And I think that's they're working together, everything. And, they covered a lot of ground with those two. You got the young people, college age and under for her. They can vote. And
wow,
you got
Zardos, thank you, man. He sent out 5 memberships, dude. What a freaking G. That's awesome, dude. You see that? Wow. Well, I did say this. I have 1 channel member because y'all are cheap. I did say this once we got up to 5, and now we're at 6. I will be doing a silver giveaway. We're going to do a live stream. I'll pick a day. I'll announce it. I'll do it within the next month, and it'll be like a dime or something, but or a quarter. I don't know. But Zardos just made it happen. Y'all ought to give him some kisses in the chat. What a fucking G. Thanks, dude. All right, go ahead, Nickel. I'm sorry. That blew me away.
I'm reading Chef. She is not good. I mean, good at anything. It benefits her that the current population of teenagers are morons. Yeah, that's what she's counting on. So,
well, I can't say she's not good at anything. The rumor of her making an adult video actually was true. It took me a long time to find it. It's now gone. It was really her. She's good at a few things, bro. Well, she's good anyway, but nothing politically or of value outside of that. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, she again, she's popular enough with the younger people, and she'll promise probably free college and not you want to pay your loan, all the stuff that they do, but don't underestimate her. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't underestimate.
Oh man! So, do y'all remember the story when Bernie was running? When was the last time he was running? He was supposed to get the it was 2016, right? So, all these liberals thought he was going to get the seat instead of Hillary, and he was talking about free student, forgiving student loans. There was this chick, dude, and this is so damn funny to me. There was this chick that went out and she took out thousands of dollars of student loans because she thought Bernie was going to get the seat and get elected. And if he got the seat, he probably would have, let's be honest. She took out thousands of dollars of student loans and donated it to his campaign, and then he didn't even get the seat. That's funny right there. That is poetic justice, man.
Well, Hillary really beat Obama. Remember, she won Michigan and she won Florida. That would have put her over. They did not count those votes because they said that the Michigan and Florida didn't do what they were supposed to do during the process. I don't know if they were supposed to have it at a different time, a different day, or whatever. So they took those away from Hillary, and that's what Obama got in the one time. But she technically beat him. And then they probably said, if you do this, then you'll be the next nominee. Because pretty much they have those super delegates. And with those super delegates, they can make anybody that the nominee they want. The way they run the super delegates. Because the Republicans don't have that.
So Tiger says he's very free giving away our money. So check this out. And I said this to Pops on a Facebook phone call. He got real pissed at me. He hung up anyway. I said, Pops, Bernie is the socialist of socialists. He really is. He's probably more socialist than AOC. She's pretty socialist, though. I don't know. That's a tough call. But I pointed that out, which he did not like. And then I also pointed out his first quote-unquote job was government at the age of 40. He's never had a job. Hell, he got kicked out of a hippie camp because he talked politics too much and he smelled so bad. Anybody that votes for a man like that is an idiot. And they should have their voting privileges taken away. I'm sorry. Because we all got to suffer with them. Oh, my God. I can't stand Bernie Sanders. I'd love to. Let's just hope he don't make it to the election. Let's hope he buys the farm because he's pretty old. I don't know how old he is, but he looks like shit.
He's not as old as he looks.
Well, good. Maybe he's aging bad. Maybe he'll kick the bucket before the election, if that's going to be the case, because he sucks.
Well, who knows? But I'm just saying that I really think she's going to do better than people are thinking when she runs.
Oh man, I hope not. I'm sorry, Savage. I just don't like Bernie. Hope I didn't offend you. He's out of here. Ron Paul, dude. Doc, I could get into that. I could get into Rand Paul, too. I like Rand a lot. I like Ron, too. I've always loved Ron Paul, to be honest with you. The Pauls are smart.
Well, I voted for Ron. I don't know if I'd ever vote for Rand, but I did vote for Ron.
I did, too. I like the Pauls. Smart. And I like that the Pauls at least Ron and probably Rand really understands sound of money. I love that. I really like Ron Paul, man.
Well, OC says pass an IQ test. I'll tell you what.
Oh, Lord.
You probably I definitely think they should raise the voting age to 21. I really do.
Higher.
And I think that you should probably have a job.
Yep. 45 and have a job. Sorry. 45. I know y'all are not going to like that, but most people are too stupid to vote. And if they ain't figured out by 45, they never will. But 40, 45, I'm telling you, dude, people under 30 are stupid as a whole, not all of them.
And JK, I'm telling you now, they're going to win the House and the Senate back in 2020.
Oh, my. Oh, God.
Doc,
trouble.
The guy from Texas, third party, that's Ron Paul. That's who it was.
Bet if Barb would have been here, CS would be right at it now. Barb blocked me because she's a crybaby liberal. So I wouldn't see nothing she said anyway. Big Daddy told her that she's never done anything worth, doing because she's a liberal. And see, that's the thing with Barb, and I was saying this earlier, Nickel, you need to explain to her. She ain't smart enough to understand this. You need to explain to her just because you don't like everything Big Daddy Trump's doing don't mean you're a liberal idiot like she is. Just saying. You don't want to get lumped in with that.
No, I say the stuff I like Trump has done, and then I say the stuff that I don't like he's done.
But she doesn't have the mental capacity to understand that those are two different things. So you should probably lay it out to her that, hey, I don't like tariffs, but I'm still a conservative and I don't side with liberals. She doesn't understand that. She doesn't have that mental ability. I'm telling you. It ain't there. That's just my 2 cents.
Well, and Hector is, I'm one of his favorites now. Also,
yeah, you should probably explain to him too that just because you don't like everything Trump's doing, that don't mean you're a libertard.
Well,
just
I'll tell you, Hector makes a lot of sense these days. I'll just say, when he comes in my lives, he makes a lot of good points.
Well, thanks for coming in, Hardcore. That was a surprise. Some of them do, and that's very scary because it shouldn't. We shouldn't be living in that world. We should be living in the world where the left never makes sense.
Now, in Texas, it's what? In Texas, it's only one something, I think.
One what? 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
No, it's 12:45 here, which means in Texas, all but like a part of the unofficial time zone in Texas. That means if it's almost 1 here, it's 3 o'clock there. So it's 2:45 in Texas. Ross Perot, I ain't heard that name in a hot minute. Wow. I can't believe 17 of y'all are in here this time of night. That's crazy.
I voted for him once.
I think I was too young to really. I remember him, but what year was that? I was pretty damn young. What year was that? Anybody know?
He ran against Clinton and Bush Sr., and then he ran the next time.
He ran twice? I thought he only ran once. Of course, I was a troubled teenager back then. I had a lot of chemical problems, so I didn't pay no attention. I was a mess. I'm on borrowed time, baby.
He didn't do well at all the second time.
He didn't do well the first time, did he?
Yeah, he got, I think, 14%.
Yeah, see, I was 12 years old in 1992, so there's that.
He got 14 or 16%, I think, the first time, and then I think he got like 5% the second time.
Nickel was 60 in 1992, so he remembers. You're what, 56?
Yep.
Damn, that means Neil's got you beat by a year, son.
A year and a half. I think he was born 67. I was born 68.
Wow.
End of 68.
My brother was born in 69. He's an old man. Oh, man.
Yep. See, OC's got it. OC's on top of it. 92 and 96. That's correct. I would have voted for him in 92, but he got out. And I think he told the truth. I think that
somebody, the year of the cat.
I think somebody threatened him. I think he was definitely threatened. I don't know which side. I would assume it would be on the Republican side because he took votes away enough. Clinton would have never got elected if Perot wasn't in the race the first time. There's no doubt about it. And Bush Sr. would have won, I think. But he took enough votes away from Bush Sr. that let Clinton get in.
Doc wants to know what month you were born.
December.
Oh, you're a Christmas baby?
No, I'm before Christmas. But anyway, he
Beto.
So if he wouldn't have got out the first time, if Perot wouldn't have got out, I don't know if he would have won. But he would have got maybe a third of the vote.
Look who just came in the chat, Rhino, since you don't ever look at the chat. Oh, my.
Homestead.
Homestead Aquarius lives on. What's up? I was thinking about him today, actually.
Well, I had an aunt. Her birthday was on the 25th. I said, man, that's rough. I said, because people they're cheap like me. They're going to give you one gift and say birthday and Christmas. So that's a bad
Spoiler alert. Nick's so cheap, he ain't giving nobody any gifts ever for Christmas.
I got something for your birthday, and you should really like it. I don't think you've got it.
Oh my! Oh my!
I might want to mail it now because by the time if I wait until your birthday, it might be about $5 more to mail it. So,
well, if the post office gets privatized, UPS can't take it over because they're laying everybody off. FedEx will probably be next. So what's going to happen there? Oh my!
I'm December 11th, by the way. So OC's the 24th, so he celebrates New Year's Eve, a birthday, and New Year's Eve. I mean Christmas Eve. My fault, and Christmas Eve.
Wow, OC is almost like the baby Jesus, man. Kind of.
I know another day you don't want to be born. It's February 29th, because that means you only can celebrate the birthday year every time we have a leap year.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, I mean that would be rough. You mean you don't have a birthday the other years.
Hell, I'm getting so old I wouldn't mind not having a birthday as long as I was still alive, if you know what I mean. Be all right. If I could stay 28 years old forever, I would have.
Oh, I would if I had to do it. If I had to pick a year to go back to and stay, I would probably pick 30 or 31. I wouldn't go back to my 20s.
So send it, Nickel, before post office also lay off people. Oh God, we'll be going back to delivering mail through with carts and buggies, man. By the time it's all said and done with the way things are going. Oh my. You know what? You know what we could do? I just thought of something. I'm a problem solver. We can get Neil a job delivering mail. He needs to go back to work. There you go.
Well, I will say this.
My.
Musk wants to do it, wants to privatize it. If they don't privatize it, they're going to make a lot of changes to it. I can promise you that.
Well, it ain't perfect, so I could deal with that. 30. JK had a rich girlfriend at 30. Oh, my. Yeah, it'd be 28 for me too, Sheffy.
And after they broke up, I bet she probably was a little bit richer.
Ha! Rhonda, that's funny. Well, 17 people came in. Zardos, you're a fucking G, dude, for doing the membership thing. So here's the deal, for real, y'all. Within the next 30 days, I will do a live stream. I'll do a giveaway since we hit 5 channel members, thanks to Zardos. I'll give away something. I'll give away a little love. I got to figure out how I'm going to do it. I don't want to set it up so that you have to be in the live, I guess. That just seems unfair because I know schedules conflict. So pay attention to my community. I'll figure out how I'm going to do it, and I'll announce it.
You have to be subbed.
Right. Well, you can't be a member without being subbed, I don't think. I don't know. So we'll come up with something in the next 30 days. Because I always said I would do that, and everyone's such a cheap ass. I only had one. I had two for a while, then I went down to one. So, but I don't believe in members-only videos. I think that sucks. The live stream might be members-only. I don't know, just because it's a giveaway for that purpose. But we'll come up with something. Because I think people should get something for giving back. That's the liberal in me, I guess. There ain't no liberal in me. That was a joke. Maybe Nickel can rack his rhino mind and help me come up with a way to do this. Oh, my.
Yep. Well, you don't have the spinning wheel. You don't have no software for that, right?
No, I'm a hillbilly. I don't know how to do none of that.
You know, you can't race a ghost or camels or any of that stuff they do. So you don't have that.
I think it'll be a deal where I'll write down a number and I'll give people a week in the comments to comment on it. And the first one who gets it right or close to it, I guess. What's up, Roadhog? Wow, long time no see. I don't know. I'll try to come up with something.
You can't go over. It's as close as over or under, or you got to stay under, or.
Well, so whoever's the closest got to win. That's all I know because someone's got to win.
So if you go one over, you can still win if someone's two under.
Yeah, I'll come up with something. Oh my.
Well, how Rocky does it? Rocky, I pick the number, and then it's the closest to it, but without going over. That's how he does it.
Maybe we'll do a stream together. You can write the number down and tell me what it is afterward. I don't know. And then give people, X amount of days to guess it in the comments or something. I don't know. We'll come up with something.
Well, you'd have to go probably at least 1 to 50 because you could have 50 people in there. So you'd have to go one.
Well, no, only channel members can win it, though. So there's only 6 people that can win it. That's the thing.
Oh, my. Okay. Well, you could go 1 to 25. That ought to cover it.
Look what Roadhog just said. Yeah, that don't surprise me. My channel's tanked because YouTube don't like me, so they don't tell people I'm putting anything out. Oh, my. The doc wants us to do something. So we'll figure something out, I guess. I'll ask Matt what he thinks. He's smart. I'm kind of tired, man. I took a nap. I got to be back to work in 10 hours. Are you mowing today?
I mow every day. Let's see. My GF, my girlfriend, is a leap year baby.
You're just now reading that? That was like an hour ago.
She will always.
Go. That ain't very nice, OC. What about Neil? You got him mowing tomorrow? He's working for you, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I can't help it, man. I can't.
Yeah, Neil would be the one to sit around and go, you missed the spot?
You'd be cutting the grass, and he'd be sitting there smoking it. Oh, my!
Yeah, he'd be saying, hey, I think you missed the spot.
I can't help it. It's too easy. Anyway, I'm kind of tired. So you're mowing. You probably need some sleep. You going to get some sleep or what?
I don't know. Probably.
It's 4 a.m. there. What time you going out?
I don't know. It may rain tomorrow too. So I know it rained a little today, but not very much. It didn't.
Which one? Now there's like 19 of them, I think.
Oh, he had a bunch of babies. He had 2 cats that got pregnant and had babies.
Later, Doc. Thanks for coming in. That's funny. Well, we should probably get some sleep, man. I know I'm tired. I'm assing out. I'm old. I've been real tired. I got home from work and I only worked a 4-hour shift today for some reason. And then I laid down, took a 3-hour nap, man, and I'm ready to go to bed again. I don't know what's going on. Must be getting
That's
old.
what old guys. That's what old guys do. I don't take naps, so.
I usually don't. Sometimes I do, but today I was real tired. Well, Roadhog, good to see you. Chef, Rhonda, OC, Doc, Savage came in, Zardos. I mean, there was a list. It was crazy this time of night. So y'all are phenomenal.
Well, I'll tell Chef he can give me the 1 ounce in any form he wants. Dimes,
J-Lo,
silver.
Oh my!
He said, not yet. We still got that more time.
What's the bet?
Oh, that if we have an Amuro that is going to be Canada and America, that Mexico won't be part of it, and he says that it will be America, Mexico, and Canada. And I said Mexico would join the BRICS, and so he doesn't think so. 1 ounce, 1 ounce of silver bet.
Well, you must be pretty sure because you're cheap. You wouldn't put up an ounce if you thought you was going to lose. You wouldn't take my 10-ounce bet because you know I'd be right. That's right. Remember that? Well, keep stacking, keep packing. Those times we live in. That's my nickel outro. You want to say it? You say it more Nicholas than I do.
Oh, I say keep stacking, keep packing, because times we live in.
And I'm just going to say keep stacking and good night all. Oh, my.